Hey guys, it's Protendo, and you can probably tell from my tone, but this is another unscripted video, because I didn't really want to write a script about this. I just wanted to sort of speak what was on my mind. Back when I did the Frisk video a few weeks ago, I asked you guys if you were okay with some more unscripted videos that don't really take up the time of making others. They're just really quick, sort of just saying whatever I want to say, and then I put them out, and most of you guys seem to like that. So today we're doing another one, and we're talking about Animal Crossing, which I'd rather not. Well, like, obviously I like talking about Animal Crossing, but I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm trying to get into more of a video schedule lately of sort of doing not just Animal Crossing content, but like branching out more. Every other video is going to be Animal Crossing, and every other video is going to be like something else, you know. I've kind of already destroyed that by making an Animal Crossing video like on Monday, and then also an Animal Crossing video prior to that, so I already kind of ruined that, and now I'm ruining it further by making a third Animal Crossing video. The next video won't be about Animal Crossing. So for those who don't know, and I'm assuming most of you know because you are all Animal Crossing fans if you're subscribed to this channel, Nintendo just announced the next Animal Crossing update for July 29th. It is exactly what I thought it would be, and I feel bad. Like, obviously I don't like being correct in this sense. I said that so much in yesterday's or 2 days ago's video that I hope I'm wrong, but I wasn't wrong. They're just re-adding fireworks, and then up until September, they're adding a couple new items. So yeah, and I think there's also a handful of other things you can get from Red's Raffle, which is precisely what I said they were going to do, and I feel bad because there were some people in my comment section saying things like there's going to be a major 30-minute Animal Crossing presentation detailing all this new stuff like Tortimer's Island, and I felt bad. I was like, if only it were true. But today, I guess there's not a set topic really. I guess it's sort of just venting frustration. I don't just want to do that though. There are some things I want to address because I already have a lot of videos on my channel that are just venting frustration about New Horizons. And honestly, I don't think, like, here's the thing, criticism is always good because it teaches people, specifically companies, it shows them how they can improve on their thing. Aimless criticism isn't exactly good. Just bashing on something for the sake of bashing on it, that doesn't really accomplish anything. There is productive criticism, you know, where you're saying these are the issues, this is how you can solve them, and these are maybe some things that other people aren't seeing. That latter thing is really mainly what I want to talk about today. Because with the updates, naturally, you have a lot of people angry, like on Twitter, you have a bunch of people that were really reaching their patience end, because while I sort of gave up a little bit ago after E3 on New Horizons, there are a lot of people who this was the make or break for them, you know. Is longest waits between updates that we've had so far, 90 days between updates, and to have it be this underwhelming, for a lot of people, that was like the last straw. So, you know, you saw a lot of people going off in like Nintendo's comment section. They didn't even post it on the Isabelle account because I'm assuming they knew how much more people would just go off if it was there. And notice how they didn't put out a trailer or anything for it either, which is also something I predicted because it's just that uninteresting of new content, I suppose. Something funny is that I keep saying that I predicted this perfectly. I actually didn't, because I said that after all this time, I thought they might throw us a bone, like be like, hey, here's bulk crafting, or hey, you can maybe order a bunch of things from the Able Sisters now, just to be like, we don't have anything big yet, but because you've been waiting so long, here's like a little thing that will be nice if you continue to play the game during this period of time. Nope. Not even that. We didn't even get anything like that. Like in the Sanrio update when they gave us 50 new design slots, we didn't get anything like that. So I was wrong on that front. They didn't even feel the need to. That's the thing, you know, that would it be that hard to add bulk crafting? I really don't think it is. Like, it has been a year and a half, come on. But that's sort of off topic, if there even is a topic in this video. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was the reception to this, and how the Animal Crossing community is becoming more and more sort of just frustrated and tired and angry. And, you know, for the most part, rightfully so, because like this is a very frustrating situation that New Horizons is in, and there are some things that I want to clear up too, because of course when you have people and like criticizing something, you have people who rush to defend it, which, and let me get this straight, there's nothing wrong with defending New Horizons if you like that game a lot. Like that's completely opinion based. If you are like the biggest New Horizons super fan, I have nothing but respect for you. That is completely fine, and no one should be telling you different. That being said, there are a lot of people who seem to be trying to sort of like misconstrue what a lot of people criticizing the game are saying. And the main thing that I see, especially on Twitter, because you know it's Twitter, are people saying obviously, you know, there's it's a pandemic defense from New Horizons, and yeah, it is. That makes sense. That's the thing. New Horizons content, I feel confident that at this point, if things were normal, like if 2020 hadn't happened and things were normal, we'd probably have Brewster. We'd probably have Cap'n too. Like I feel like I can confidently say that, and I feel like some things like that will still come in the future. Like especially this fall seems like a ripe time to add something actually decent to the game, such as Brewster, especially since he's been in the code. Yeah, so the pandemic, it's very obviously affected New Horizons update development. But that's the thing. That shouldn't matter. New Horizons' main issue comes from the fact that it launched like it did. It launched as this empty shell of a game that sort of half did what it wanted to do and didn't even do it all that well, and then also left tons of things out. Like, remember, at launch, we didn't have art, we didn't have diving, we didn't have the introduction of farming with pumpkins or anything like that. It was just, there was not much. We didn't have a museum upgrade aside from, you know, making it an actual building. Like, we did not have much. And I'm looking for things to say got added after time, but obviously not that much got added even now. But that's the thing. Like, people are connecting the anger people feel with New Horizons being how it is to being angry that Nintendo suffered from the pandemic. No one is angry about that. We understand, or at least logical people understand, that Nintendo, being a big Japanese company where their work is more, you know, it's more traditional, done in office, stuff like that, people understand that Nintendo took a huge blow from that. No one is trying to downplay that. What we are bringing up, however, is the fact that most of this stuff should have been here from the beginning and not cut from the game. Because if the updates are going to be not as good as they have been as of like the past few months, then it just makes it all the more evident what the game was missing at the beginning. No Brewster, no Cap'n, no Tortimer's Island, no shops outside of... We have 2 shops, remember? There are 2 shops in this game, and I can never say that without laughing because it is genuinely funny to me. You know, you go back to New Leaf, walk onto Main Street, like, as soon as you start the game, and there's, like, 3 times the shops. And we have 2 in New Horizons there, too. And there's a single upgrade that you get in a month. Yeah, but that's the thing. New Horizons, and I'm sorry to anyone. I understand that if you really like the game, it can be frustrating. Like, I've had it a lot where I really like games that people don't really like as much, and they go off on them, and I understand that can be frustrating to hear as a fan. So I'm never trying to... Like, I don't make these kinds of videos for the purpose of bashing anyone who likes New Horizons or saying that you have bad taste if you're a fan of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm simply doing this because I am an Animal Crossing fan. I love and care about the series. So to see it go in this direction, which I really don't think is a strong direction, is something that I want to talk about because it can be frustrating. And something else that's interesting, this won't just be about New Horizons, but this is about this generation of games in general, I guess, and I also said this on Twitter, but we've been, like, mainly this generation, and also a bit of the previous generation of games, like, being updated, has altered what people think a game can do in terms of longevity, because there are people who genuinely believe... And, well, okay, I shouldn't say that. Like, I'm not trying to completely dismiss the idea, because like obviously I'm open to hearing what people are saying, but there are people who believe that if Animal Crossing New Horizons launched as a full game with everything it's going to get, if it just had all of that at launch, that it would somehow be worse. And I cannot understand that mentality. I just think that goes to show how we've been altered in terms of looking at games, because now updates have become such a commonplace thing in games, like updates over the course of months or years, that people now believe that a game isn't finished if it doesn't get updates, which is just wrong. Animal Crossing, going as far back as the GameCube, has been praised for its longevity, and that was before updating games was even a thing. And obviously, like, Animal Crossing GameCube was the weakest of the bunch in terms of content. Jump forward a few decades, or I guess 15 years or so, and look at New Leaf. Not even 15 years. Wow, it was like a single decade almost. Wow, it's just making me realize how long New Horizons was after New Leaf. But jump like a decade and a bit forward, look at New Leaf. That game had people playing for years. Like, if you're going try hard to try to get everything done, like, in terms of what the game actually allows, like, not including time traveling, which of course is fine, I've said before, like, play the game how you want, but not including time traveling, if you try to do everything as efficiently as possible, it would at least take you months. Like, I haven't calculated the entire thing. It would take you close to a year, because there are all the shop upgrades, including things like visiting Katrina 20 times as she appears, and, like, doing stuff to get Gracie so that you can fully upgrade TNT Emporium and stuff like that. That takes a long time. There's tons of content there, and then also, there's the regular Animal Crossing stuff, like bug catching, fishing, stuff like that. That game is so packed full of content. When it launched, I didn't see anyone, granted I was younger and not on social media as much, but I didn't see anything near the level of complaints that New Horizons has, because people were hooked. They had so much to do and play in that time. It took me, like, I got New Leaf, like, June 2013. It took me at least 3 years, because I was, like, super casual back then. It took me, like, 3 years to get, like, everything done. Like, it took me until, like, maybe 2 years, actually. 2015, probably late 2015, it took me until I got everything done, right? You look at New Horizons now, and to unlock everything or whatever, or the things that matter at least, like the building upgrades and such, it takes you like a month. You can get it done in like a month, and that's not even like working as hard as you possibly could. Like, you could probably do it even faster, but just like playing the game casually, you get everything done in like a month. That's when you get your upgrades and you get your terraforming abilities and yada yada yada. There's nothing to work towards, and they haven't added anything to work towards, which is why people are so frustrated with these updates. Not because they can't understand the concept of being pushed back by the pandemic, but because it should have been here from the start. Animal Crossing, it doesn't work that well with this model. Well, I shouldn't say that. I said that to one of my friends, and he pointed out, like, cleverly, that no, the problem isn't like this sort of every other month or every 3 months update schedule. The problem lies specifically with how New Horizons handled it, because it was so empty at launch. And mind you, the time that the game like was being worked on, the pandemic didn't exist. Like, maybe it existed for like a month of development time, and it's not like in that month they were gonna add everything that we were waiting for. They had all that time, and this is the result. And I've said it before, I would have waited. I would have waited until now to have New Horizons release if it meant that it was going to surpass or even be equal to the previous games in the franchise. New Leaf is like a 10 out of 10 for me. This is like a 5. But my friend pointed out that, once again, he pointed out that the problem is how New Horizons handled it. Because if New Horizons had content at launch, like good replayable content that we actually expected from a sequel to New Leaf, then the updates would be a delight, because it's just adding new stuff to the game. It's like every few months we get a little taste of this new stuff, which is fine because the game itself would have already been enough. Like, imagine if back in the New Leaf days, if New Leaf came out how it was, an excellent, like beautiful masterpiece, and then like every few months we got like some additional stuff, I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome. But it's all about how New Horizons handled it, which it didn't well. like I've said, I've lost hope at this point, which sounds really dark and like over. It sounds edgy for an Animal Crossing video to say like I give up. Oh, I'm so dark. I hate New Horizons. But like, yeah, at this point, like I went back to playing New Leaf. I'm playing Stardew Valley again. It's just I've realized that New Horizons doesn't really have anything for me in this sense. I do think that I don't think the Animal Crossing team are lazy or bad people. I remember someone said in the comments a while back when I said this, they were like, "What? But you think New Horizons is like a very bad, or not very bad, but you think New Horizons is a mediocre game, but you don't think that the devs are like money hungry and lazy? You can't think both those things at once." Yes, I can. I just think this game had poor. I don't think it was directed as well as it could be. That isn't to say that the people working on the game were lazy or like just money hungry people trying to rob us of our money for a mediocre experience. Like, no, I don't think that's the case. So while I've sort of given up on New Horizons, I do think that it'll have some things coming in the future. A prominent leaker as well as Nintendo themselves are implying that something major could come this year. And by major, I don't mean like major, but I mean like something like Brewster. That's what I expect. I think like September Direct, we see the announcement, and it's Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0, and it's not anything major. It's just Brewster and the Roost in the museum. That's about the highest expectation I can possibly have for this game after all of this. But wow, I'm just now looking at the length of the video, and it's like 16 minutes, and this video is sort of just me venting about some frustrating stuff with Animal Crossing New Horizons, but, you know, what else is new? I want to get out some actual non-Animal Crossing videos soon, which I'm working on. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, or I guess listening. This isn't really the type of video that you watch. This is sort of just me talking for 16 minutes, which most of my scripted videos, or unscripted videos rather, tend to be. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this update, I say with large, very visible air quotes, and how you feel about New Horizons as a whole and how you feel about its future. I always love to see what you guys are thinking, even if we disagree, because I know there are a lot of people that disagree with me, and that's completely fine. So I'll see you guys later. Protendo out.